A very good morning to all of you students. Students, today we are going to start chapter number 6, that is birth, from our supplementary reader Snapshots, written by A.J. Cronin. First of all, let me tell you about the author of the story. Archibald Joseph Cronin was a Scottish novelist, dramatist, and non fiction writer. He was born in July 1896 in Dunbartonshire, Scotland. In 1914, he entered Glasgow University to study medicine, but his studies were interrupted by World War I, in which he served in the British Navy as a surgeon sub lieutenant. He received his MB and CHB in 1919 and took a job as a ship's surgeon on passenger liner. He afterwards took positions at several hospitals. In 1921, he married Agnes Mary and moved to South Wales to start a medical practice. He received his MD degree, means Master of Doctorate degree, in 1925 from University of Glasgow, and he moved to London to start a practice over there. In 1926, Cronin opened a medical practice in London's fashionable West End, but soon after, ill health forced him to take a leave of absence. In 1930, he was diagnosed with an ulcer and ordered to take 6 months complete rest on a milk diet. K.J. Cronin was one of the most renowned storytellers of the 20th century. His best known works are The Citadel and The Keys of the Kingdom, both of which were made into Oscar nominated films. He also created the Dr. Finlay character, the hero of a series of stories that served as the basis for the long running BBC television and radio series entitled Dr. Finlay's Casebook. Cronin died on January 6, 1981 in Montreux, Switzerland. This chapter is an extract from A.J. Cronin's novel The Citadel. This extract describes how a young doctor revives a child that is born lifeless. Joe Morgan and his wife are a middle aged couple. They have been married for the last 20 years but have not uh, got any child so far. Now Mrs. Morgan is expected to her is expected her first child. Both her husband and her mother are feeling very nervous because the delivery of the child is going to be before time. A young doctor named Andrew is called in. The doctor has to put in hard labor in the delivery of the child. When the child is born, it seems to be stillborn. This shock could be too much for the Morgans to bear. While the doctor is attending to the mother, the nurse places the baby under the bed among dirty newspapers. After assuring himself that the mother is safe, the doctor looks for the baby. Finding it under the bed, he at once pulls it out. It was a boy, perfectly formed. The body was warm but was not breathing. At once, the doctor sets to revive the child's breath. After half an hour's terrible effort, he is at last successful. He thanks God and hands the child to the nurse. So, Andrew Manson was a young doctor here. He had newly passed out of a medical school and joined as an assistant to Dr. Edward Page. The clinic was in the small Welsh town of Blanley. It was a mining town. Joe Morgan was a resident of this town. He was a well built person and worked as a driller at the mines. He lived with his wife. They had been married for about 20 years, but so far they didn't have any child. Now Mrs. Morgan was expecting her first child. After spending a disappointing evening with the lady love, Christian, Andrew came back home. He found Morgan waiting for him restlessly. He told the doctor that he had been waiting for him for an hour. He said that his wife needed his presence because the child was expected to be born before time. Together they set out for Morgan's house. Andrew was feeling very dull and tired since he had been, working for many hours since morning. He had no idea that this night call would prove unusual and influence his whole future in Blanley. When they reached the door of number 12, Morgan stopped outside the door. He said that he won't go in. Inside, a narrow stair led up to a small bedroom. It was clean but poorly furnished. It was lit only by an oil lamp. Mrs. Morgan's mother was sitting beside the patient. She was a tall, grey haired woman of nearly 70. An elderly midwife was also there. Both of them watched Andrew's expression as he moved about the room. Since there was a period of waiting, Andrew waited in the kitchen. Soon he was lost in his thoughts about Christine. An hour later, he went upstairs again. He noted the progress made and came down once more. He sat down by the kitchen fire. At last, the nurse's voice was heard calling him from the top landing. Andrew looked at the clock. It now showed 3:30. He rose and went up to the bedroom. He saw that he could now begin his work. An hour passed. It was a long, hard struggle. Then, as the first rays of dawn appeared, the child was born lifeless. As Andrew looked at the lifeless form, a shiver of horror went through his body. He couldn't decide whether to uh, re revive the child first or attend to the mother who herself was in a serious state. So he gave the child